Greg, good to talk to you. All right, so of course, prisoner swaps are nothing new. The U.S. does it all the time with governments and even sometimes groups, which has been controversial. But in this case, to trade for this notorious guy called the Merchant of Death, who sold arms to warlords and dictators, why would they want to trade him? They must see him as a lot less of a threat to the world now.
Well, I mean, this is assuming he is the one to be traded. But if we look at the greater context, I mean, Biden's foreign policy thus far has been a miserable failure. And I mean, if the swap is actually successful in the end, then he will actually have something to say. Well, we have at least this success in foreign policy. So, I mean, the domestic public in the US is getting very tired of Biden, and put this into the context of rising prices and other different failures. He needs every little bit of help and whatever success, no matter how small that might be.
You know, Paul Whelan has been locked up in Russia for years now. The fact that there's this push, this urgency now, is that because Brittney Griner is such a high-profile individual, or is there pressure on the United States because this war is going on in Ukraine?
I think this is something to satisfy domestic public opinion in the United States. I mean, you've got all kinds of problems for the Democratic Party. They are lagging in the polls. I mean, you see what Biden's polling on now. So they need to try and show something for it. So I think this is more driven by this political will, which is driven by domestic politics more than anything else. And this, of course, is public relations on the international stage for the American audience.
You know, one reason why U.S. administrations are often reluctant to do a prisoner swap is because there is the reality and also the perception that it just encourages whoever the opponent is to keep capturing Americans when they go there, tourists or whatever. Does this contribute to the problem, or has Russia shown itself so willing to take a prisoner like Brittney Griner, just a basketball player going there with some cannabis oil, that doesn't really factor in here?
Well, I think the thing that factors in here is the presence or absence of political will to do something. And of course, if there is political will to do something, there's political urgency to do it owing to different factors, then it will be done. If this is not, then these kinds of things don't happen. As you mentioned, Paul Whelan has been in prison for years, but there's been nothing. So it's a matter of timing. Why now? And the answer I've already given.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, Greg, thanks very much.